אני עולה. תן לי עוד רגע בוקר, תן לי עוד רגע יום, תן לי עוד קצת ככה כמו היום. תן לי עוד רגע אושר, תן לי עוד רגע חום, תן לי עוד קצת ככה כמו היום. לא אשכח את עוצמתך, אך גם לא את רחמך. שלח ברכה אל בני בריתך, ותן לי עוד רגע ככה כמו היום. תן לי עוד לדעת, תן לי עוד לטעום, תן לי עוד רגע ככה כמו היום. תן לנו קצת שקט, תן לנו שלום, תן לי עוד רגע ככה כמו היום. לא אשכח את עוצמתך, אך גם לא את רחמך. שלח ברכה אל בני בריתך, ותן לי עוד רגע ככה כמו היום. Shalom, shalom. Niv, let's see if I can hear you, just to make sure.
You can hear me?
Yeah. All right. So I know that you are little bit surprising to see a different coin today. Actually, I didn't think about it. Most of the time, Eliezer here with me. Today, he had something because it's really close to Shabbat, but I said I need to do it. And Eliezer said, maybe I will join later. So maybe he will surprise us and he will join for a couple of minutes to say, to give his perspective on the portion of this week, portion Vaerae. But today we have a different guest. He is a coin too, from the, as I say every week, from the tribe of Levi. He is a Levite from the tribe of the Levites. His name is Niv. Maybe you saw him on my story sometimes on Instagram. He's the one that owned the studio, the music studio that I'm renting a room. He's a good friend. I'm here for I think Niv more than four years. We said
4.5 years, yes.
And good friend, he and his wife, and he's amazing man with an amazing soul, and you will hear it soon. And he's one of the biggest composers and producers in Israel in some fields in the music industry. And that's it. This is Niv. And okay, so we're going to speak about the portion Vaerae. And last week we finished when Moses said to God, why you sent me? Why you sent me to Paro? Because he went to Paro and told him as we say in the movies, let my people go, to let the Jewish people, the Hebrew people, to leave Egypt. And Paro said, you know what? I'm going to do this, this, and this, and this. We spoke about it last week. The bottom line is that he made with the things that he did, it's brought more and more and more bad things to the Hebrew people because of that Moses and Aaron went to Paro. More bad things happened, to the Jewish people, to the Hebrew people. So Moses, we begin this portion that Moses asking God, why you sent me? And if last week we saw that God spoke on the future, I will be how I will be, this time God answering Moses something very interesting. He's answering him, um, I am God. And the words that the letters that he used is the first time that anyone see in his prophecy this name, the name with the Yud, then Hey, and then Vav, and then Hey. The famous video that we know from the video that you saw me see the letters on the wall. So this is the letters, Yud, then Hey. I will send it in the chat. You can see, this name. I'm not allowed to say this word in uh, in Hebrew, but I send it with the letters in the middle. So this
Actually
is the name.
means like every time conception in the world, like the present, the past, and the future. That's the meaning of the letters.
Yeah,
For anyone who doesn't know
exactly.
that.
And this is the first time that Moses, anyone, and more than this, we can see in the second in the actually we are now in Shemot 6:2 and 3. So if we go to the next verse, we see that then God telling Moses, I spoke to Abraham, to Isaac, and to Jacob in a different name, but my name is this name. And this is the first time that we see it. And it's it's something very interesting because we know that in Egypt they believe they knew about the name Elohim, and actually they respect the God who called Elohim. And it's very strange because when we are speaking about God, we believe that there is one God. So how can it be that the Egypt people, they believe in Elohim, but we believe in Elohim and we believe in this God too? And what there is so many gods? What is this? It's impossible because we in the Jewish faith we believe that there is one God. This is the deepest and the most important thing in the Jewish faith. So how can it be that to Abraham spoke to Abraham in his prophecy he saw Elohim, and now Moses see this something. So this is represent all the things that we're going to see in this portion, because in this portion we see the plagues that God gives to Egypt, and in the beginning, all the things that Moses do through God. Um, at the beginning, Paro said, "I can do it too. This is things that I know how to do, like to take the stick and to change it to a snake. I can do it too because I know how to work with a character called Elohim. I know how to work with these things. But Moses know how to work. He have the opportunity to work with something much bigger. So and then you can see it in the other plugs. But what is the difference between Elohim and between the different name, the other name? The difference is what our mind, what our brain can get. Like the word Elohim represent the nature, how we see God in the nature. And we know that Egypt, there were the Egyptian people was very, very smart. We don't know until today how they build all their buildings and things that until today people don't understand how they did it with no electricity, and they were really smart and they knew how to work with the nature. And the things that we see here is there's something that we see here that's very new, is that God is one, but in each atmosphere, I can say, um, there is a different way to understand God and to see God. And Moses got the opportunity to speak to the highest level of the of God. That is, this is the same God, but in other level. And what can we learn from it? We can learn that most of the time, Niv, when I'm doing this live, I get messages later. How can it be that you spoke with Eliezer, with Botzer, and you said something about the portion, and Eliezer says something different about the portion, and then you said you're right. I am telling him you're right, and he told me you're right too, but we say different things. How can it be? Like, i- i- you can't understand how two people with two ideas about the same thing agree with each other, but they this is different meanings with different meanings. Um, so this is the deep way to learn Torah through the Jewish tradition, is to understand that in each level of 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 our understanding on our ideas is a different way that represent a different view, I can say, of God.
I think it's
Uh,
more like different depth of spiritual depth
yeah.
of understanding the meaning of the word God, or that thing or nothing, that whatever that created everything. Probably Moses got to a point of spiritual understanding. That's why he got the opportunity to work with higher level of spiritual understanding. That's why,
Hmm.
that's how it heard by what you
Yeah,
explained.
and yeah, exactly. You helped me to sharp the message. Thank you. And yes, you're right. It's all the same, but the understanding of Moses, that he was the first one to understand it. Actually, he's not the first one. Yes, Abraham and Isaac, they understood it too, but they didn't had the opportunity to work and explain, and actually it's kind of a fight between the idea of what I see is what we have in this world. And Moses is the first one that have this fight with the people. Actually, Abraham, it was he have a fight too, but here is like the biggest fight between the biggest nation that control all the world and know how to work with the nature, um, with someone that come and it's very hard for him to speak, and he said, "I have something bigger than the nature." And this is like, for think that someone will come to, I don't know, to Mark Zuckerberg now and tell him, you know what, I can delete all your, I don't know, I can delete your app, I can delete it in a moment. You will tell him you're crazy, and think that this man is someone that's very hard for him to speak, and he's in his 80s, and he's like coming with his brother, all two old people, and he said, "You are crazy people." And this is what we see here. This is the beginning of the portion, and this is kind of of a fight that started, as I said before, that Moses, when Moses don't understand, even if he see that there is something more bigger than the nature, he don't understand why with when he walked to Paro, it just made Paro make it harder to the Hebrew people. Then the Hebrew people came to Moses and said, so why you did it? We trust you. All right, I see that Eliezer is here. All right, let's see if he can join us. Eliezer. Eliezer. Whoa.
Hey,
What's a view? And
you see the hormone now. You want to see the?
wow.
You know here.
Wow. Can you flip the camera? I don't
Like
know if
this?
the word is, yeah, like this. Yeah. Amazing.
Okay. Shabbat shalom. Shabbat shalom, brother.
Shalom. You see who with us here? Niv. Another coin.
Hi, Neve. Yeah, brother. Whoa. There's a kid. Brother. You're welcome here, Neve.
Thank
Look
you.
around.
Thank
See
you.
this place over here?
I love the north of the country. It's
Wow.
such an amazing area, such an amazing region. Just love it.
Yes.
I just told
So
them.
you're
I just
welcome here.
told them in the beginning
Thank you.
that we have problem with the coin, so I bring another coin from the
Neve, you're a
world
coin?
Yeah.
the coin.
Yes.
Nice. Beautiful.
All
So
right,
what,
so
are you in the middle of a conversation already? You want
we just finished to said to speak a little bit about the difference between the word Elohim and the word Yud K Vav K. We spoke about it a little bit, and now I plan to speak a little bit about the plugs. So if you want to say something,
So please, we're in short time before Shabbat, so
yeah.
I would share one idea that's maybe related to what you spoke about already, the approach to God, and we see something from our portion now that it says there is a verse that says "Velo sham'u el Moshe mikotzer ruach u'me'avoda kasha," that they didn't hear, that the people of Israel didn't hear Moses. This was before God started to send the signs. Yes, the 10 signs. That we could say also that today we're in a kind of a sign. This pandemic, this COVID, is also a kind of a sign that God is taking us out of a specific consciousness to a new consciousness, where every generation will go out of a new Egypt. So now we're also going through a pandemic, the whole world, that maybe this whole pandemic wants to also take us out of a kind of a Egypt, a kind of a slavery. So, but the words, I would go back to the people of Israel, that in the beginning they didn't hear Moses. They didn't hear Moses. And this is what they say: they didn't hear Moses because they were in a short spirit, and they were unto labor. They were unto hard work, unto labor, and this is why they didn't hear Moses. But there is an interpretation that says that there are 3 levels of spirit. Okay. Yair, brother, and Neve. So beautiful that we're all together here.
Yes, it is.
Go ahead, Neve. What a discovery, brother. So you just spoke about God, right? So
Yes.
there's three kinds of spirit. One kind of spirit is that a person has no spirit. A person is in ignorance. There is a verse that says, there is a reality that people are very cynical. And to understand, to be a spiritual person, it's to be sensitive. Then what is to be a spiritual person? It's to believe to your emotional world. It's to be sensitive to the other. A spiritual person is a person that in his character, he wants to be a sensitive person towards the other, another person that has no feelings toward it, or takes advantage. You have consciousness. So being a spiritual person is being a person with consciousness, and so there is a reality that people that don't have spirituality at all. But this was not the status of the people of Israel. The people of Israel were the middle status. The middle status is kotzer ruach. Kotzer ruach is that you do have faith in God, but it's like you spoke before, but you don't have the right faith in God. And what is the right faith of God? This is the third kind of ruach. It's arichut apayim. It's arichut ruach. It's having a deep breath. Deep breath. When you have a deep breath, you could see God everywhere. You could see God's signs everywhere. If you don't have a deep breath, so if something doesn't fit you immediately, so you judge. and then we put ourselves over there. So it's not a place of ignorance. It is a relationship with God, but that doesn't allow us to go out of our slavery, right? Because only if we have a deep breath, so we could before we judge things and before we force reality and we always try to stay in control, we could be in the higher place of control, and it's allowing God to control our lives in a way that we have enough of a deep breath to also go out of our slaveries and create a new world, a new world for ourselves. First of all, a new dimension of consciousness, and a new world of freedom. This is the whole idea. So we bless everyone over here. I also need to go to Shabbat. I'm sorry, friends. Yair, brother,
I just want to say that it's we can see it right now too, that when you are so busy, you can get a very wrong decisions, and sometimes you need to when you need to calm down a little bit, to say no. I want one day free to think about things, to drive to Eliezer to the north,
please,
in the nature.
You also.
And then you can get the right decision. Yeah. Niv.
This is very smart what you two guys just said. I want to complete it with the fact that people are so busy all the time. They are busy surviving, and when you are surviving, you cannot think spiritually at all because you're busy to survive your life in the world. And when you're busy with surviving, your brain is physically shut down, and when your brain, your thought is shut down, you cannot even connect to the one drop of spirit. So these things are very, very smart. So when you take a deep breath, you let go of fear, you let go of stress, and then that's the precise point when you connect to your soul and spirit and God and everything that's spiritual in the world, and you can actually see.
Amen.
Continue. Yeah. Sorry for stopping you. No, thank you so much. Yes, and we could also see that maybe now that we're now in this pandemic, that it's not stopping in a lot of ways, but maybe this is also a situation. I feel like this in my personal life very much, that it's with all of the danger, and suddenly you need to be a lot more aware and a lot more careful for others. But it's a new dimension of consciousness. It's a new dimension of priorities, and the mode of survival is, like you said, Niv, and like you said, Yair. It sometimes has nothing to do with our true condition. It's just a mode, and that sometimes a person could be with the biggest wealth and with the most worries and all the time and be in a behavior of an animal that's always surviving. Like if you won't win the situation, you would lose everything. And being spiritual is exactly the opposite. It's being sensitive to the situation. If I won't be sensitive to the situation, then I would lose the situation. If I would lose you as a friend, if I would lose you as a partner, if I would lose this moment, if we would lose this true moment of creativity. So what did we do? So we took advantage of another opportunity, or if we were born to a new dimension from this opportunity.
And we saw last week that Moses got the gift to speak with this high level of God. If I can say it like this, help me in the English if it's not correct, because of his sensitivity, because that he saw, it's not because he learned a lot of Kabbalah, and it's not because of this, it's because that he saw someone hit someone else, and then he saw Hebrew people fighting, and then he saw people that speaking not speaking nice, or not having a good behavior to women's, and then he saw that his sheep running, and he was cared to animals, to people, to Hebrew people, to Egyptian people, to Midian people, to everybody, and that's why he got this gift to speak to God. And
yes,
it's only. Yeah.
I would say I would strengthen what you were saying. I'm sorry for interrupting so fast. I'm in the consciousness of Shabbat now already. But I would just strengthen what you were saying with one more idea. Yes, with one more idea exactly about what you said now, about the sensitivity of Moshe. They say about Pharaoh that always, yes, they say about Pharaoh, that always, that Hashem ichbidet libo, that always his heart became heavier. And with Moses, his mouth is heavier. And kvad peo, kvad lashon, the mouth of Moses is heavy, and the heart of Pharaoh is heavy. So we see the negative place is to have a heavy heart. What is a heavy heart? It's a person that feels, but takes the feeling to himself. So he's not sensitive to the other. He takes advantage of the other. But a person like Moses, like we said exactly, like Moshe Rabbeinu, so his sensitivity is totally to the other, that he gambles for himself. You know, like he's so sensitive in listening to the other or hearing the other that he could even doubt himself. Because he's okay, what is the truth? Maybe God is speaking through you now. 1 second, what's happening here? Yeah, so it's being sensitive so much to the situation that his mouth becomes heavy, but for sure not his heart. His heart is so free to feel all the time the situation and to feel the other and the other's need.
This is beautiful, Eliezer.
Shabbat shalom, Niv.
Shabbat
shalom, friends. Shabbat shalom. Shabbat shalom, Niv. Birkat Kohanim. We need to bless together, Niv.
Yes, yes, we are.
Yeah, brother. Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom. Shabbat shalom from Omuka. Shabbat shalom. Shabbat shalom.
Shalom.
Bye, Shabbat shalom.
Bye.
Love you, brother.
Shabbat shalom, Niv. Shabbat shalom.
Wow, he's amazing. He's amazing.
Yes, it is. Yes, he is.
I want to say that this portion lesson will be for the healing of, if you want to add anyone, so feel free, Niv. Adam Lev ben Shaina Leah, Ben Mimi, Ilana בת שרה, גבריאל בן ניבון, שמואל בן גרציה, הילה בת סתיו, רון בן יואל, טוביה בת מרים, מרי בת רחל, רשל, יצחק חיים בלידה, משפחת סעידיאן, נועם בן שירן, אליסיה, לואיסיה בת מרים, and our we have a beautiful friend here called Eva, that we are praying for her too. Elna Refana Laem. I see that we have some question here. Someone asked if Elohim is a different God that can represent any other gods. So according to the Jewish faith, there is no other God. It's all about help me with the English, התגלות של בעצם התגלות.
Discovery, revolution, not revolution, reviving. I think it's called reviving.
We will find a word, but if I will say in the opposite way, it's the way that we can see it, but it's the same God.
You mean like everyone can see something, some God in their own eyes, but actually it's the same God for everyone, but every person, everyone for himself see and give interpretation for God for himself, but when you collect all of them together, it's the same one. It's the same spirit.
Because it's little bit something about philosophic. It's very philosophic because it's very hard to understand how can it be that we have only one God. Okay, so God is everything. So I'm God too. You?
Yes. Everything. The trees, the sky, the birds. Yeah. The whole world.
The answer is yes.
Yes.
So what is the differences? Because we see that there is differences because I'm not acting in a perfect way. So, and we know that God is perfect. So you can say that I'm acting perfect in my situation, but let's leave it for a moment because it's very deep and for me it's hard to explain it in English.
I want to simplify this interpretation. Like God is everything and everywhere. We can look at it as a system, as a big system with a lot of parts that that every parts matters and every parts are working together perfectly, even if it looks like it doesn't. And when you take out one part, something is not whole, something is not perfect. So it's something like that. It's like a big system that we can't even imagine, that that contains everyone, everything, everywhere, from eternity until eternity. That's the simplest
Yep.
way to explain it.
And we got kind of we can say a gift or maybe like a limit in our brain that all the things that you said right now we can't understand it. It's like kind of a computer that don't have the ability to understand what you say
Yes.
because
Yes,
we
it is.
can't
Even what I
understand it.
explained, it's not everything.
Yeah,
I know it's
exactly.
not everything. It's something that I can actually explain, but there is more than I can understand, or everyone on this planet can understand. It's way bigger than us.
Yeah, exactly. And this is why um it's I said it, it's a limit, but it's a gift because the biggest gift is to understand that we don't understand.
Yes, it is.
If you walk into your job and you walk in and when you speak to someone that maybe hurt you, so in every part of your day, in every moment in your life, when you have the little bit, not all every time, a little bit to be honored of what you got, to be uh, um, anav. Why I forgot.
Humble.
Humble. To be humble in every moment in your life. It's happening only when you understand that you don't understand everything.
Yes. Yes, it
And
is.
this is for me. This is the meaning of being believer, that you
I
don't
agree.
understand everything. And I want to go a little bit forward because we don't have a lot of time. We need to finish very soon,
Okay.
and I want to speak about very important two things. The first one is about the river of Egypt
Mhm.
that we will speak about it, on the river of Egypt and the difference between Israel and Egypt in I think months from now, 1 month from now in a different portion. But I want to say very shortly about the differences. In Egypt, they have the river, and in those days, the water is the most important thing. This is the parnasa. This is the way to earn money. And in Egypt, there wasn't problem of water, but the problem was that they have only one river. All right. So the things that happen in Egypt is that there was praying to the river, but they didn't have to. They didn't pray to the river. The truth is, they didn't pray to the river because they had it all the time. It's not like a rain that you need to pray to have a rain. The difference between Egypt and Israel is that in Israel we need to pray for a rain. So you say when God say, "I give you to the amazing land of Israel," when you need to pray for your water, and you can ask, "What?" This is the deep meaning here is that when you pray, when you don't have something, and you start to pray, what? So it's a question. What is a prayer? A prayer
He's
is,
asking for something. You ask for something for real.
but yeah, and the deep meaning of prayer, and this is something that took me a little bit time to understand it. It's just the connection. When you have something all the time, you lose your connection. Like it's even it's can happening between father and son too.
Yeah, you take
When
it
you
for
give to your,
granted.
yeah, you give him all the time whatever you want, so you feel like everything is here. It's not you. He don't need you. It's like it's something. If you want to have connection, you need to pray, and that's why Israel is. We are praying all the time for peace between with our enemies. We're praying for water. We're praying all the time in Israel for things, and it's not something bad. It's a good thing because in Egypt they didn't pray. They have everything. So the first plague on Egypt was to hit the
River.
the river with the blood to make to they didn't have water. So it was something that hurt the Hebrew people and the Egyptian people too. And the reason is because it was a sign for the Hebrew people that God is stronger than everything, even more than the things that you think that it's like very obvious. Like, and it's very connected to what we feel right now with the pandemic. We think that everything is obvious. We have a big car, we want a bigger one. We
Yes.
have a lot of money, we want more. So
Yes.
God telling us, wait, I'm stronger than this. Wait a second. And
Yeah, don't take everything for granted. Don't take water for granted. Don't take health for granted. Don't take weather for granted. Don't take your breath for granted. Don't take anything. Don't take life for granted because it's precious. Because it's not granted. It's not obvious that we're here on this planet and live and breathe.
yeah, exactly. Why? We need to do it every week, Niv.
No problem. I'm here.
You give us a very beautiful perspective. I love it.
Thank you.
The last thing that I want to speak, okay? In the middle of the portion, we see that suddenly they stop the story and telling who was the brother, the sons of Jacob, and who is their sons, and what will be with them in the future. It's kind of, of it's it's have no connection in the story, and you don't understand why it's in the middle. And it start from Reuven, and then it go forward until to Levi, and there they stop in Levi. And that, according to the Jewish traditions of why they wrote it like this, they didn't go forward to Joseph and to Benjamin and all the others and stop in Levi. It's because what we read in the last portion about Yocheved. Yocheved was the mother of Moses. And she was a brave woman that, even though we heard that Jacob blessed his sons, he blessed all the sons, regular, I don't know, regular, yeah, it's all prophecy, but it's kind of a regular blessing. But Judah, he gave to Judah a very big blessing, and we know that from Judah we will see a man in the future, the Messiah. And to Joseph, he gave another big blessing, and we know that according to the Jewish tradition, we know that we have a Messiah, sons of David, and Messiah, sons of Joseph, and this is different messiahs with a different mission. We spoke about it before. Maybe we'll speak about it later too. But with Levi, he didn't give to Levi a big blessing. And from Yocheved, that she did something that no one dare to keep her boy alive, Moses alive. She changed the history, and she gave to the Levi tribe blessing, even though it wasn't in the prophecy. When we see now the prophecy, we can find in the prophecy of Jacob, we can find a kind of a sign that he said that he will spread the Levite all over Israel. So we can understand that this is according to the prophecy, that he will teach the Torah, and he will walk and sacrifice in the temple. So we can understand it now, but before we didn't see it. And this is it's a great mission for all of us, that sometimes we're saying to ourselves in our life, we say, I'm like this, and I'm like this, and I don't like this, and I will never be like this. And we can see that one woman, brave woman, that did something, again, not from the Kabbalah, not from the Torah, not anything. She just kept her boy. She did what
she followed her instincts. She followed her mother instincts. That's
exactly. She changed all the history of the Hebrew people.
Mm-hmm.
And this is a beautiful, I think, beautiful message for all of us, to believe in ourselves, that we can change our history, and we can change anything that we think about ourselves or on others, and we can change everything.
Definitely. One act that you can do can change an entire world without you even know it in the future. That's exactly like that.
Amazing. All right. So, all our brothers and sisters all over the world, thank you so much for watching us. Niv, you want to say something else for the end of the?
I want to say thank you. It was really, really inspiring being here today. I really like talking about a subject like this. It's opening my consciousness and my world and my creativity, and make me a better person to talk and to listen to guys like you and Botzer. And that's it. Thank you so much for having me here.
Thank you. See, you see what is the humble man? He gave more things than us in this portion. He gave great messages. You gave great messages, and thank you so much. All right, brothers and sisters from all over the world, thank you so much for watching us. It was great being with you. Thank you, Niv. Thank you, Botzer. I want to say to all of you, Shabbat Shalom. Take a little bit rest. This is what we learned from the message of Botzer, of this person. Take a little bit break from the work and be with the family. This is what I'm going to do right now, and to run to my family.
Me too.
And that's it. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Bye-bye.